Hello all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations. And today, we are finishing off our little series on free-to-play boss clears, ending it with Invader Zuko. Now before we get started, we are so close to 1,000 subs. Thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. It has been an absolutely amazing journey, and we are almost to that 1,000 mark. So if you haven't already, you've liked this video, please subscribe. It would really help out the channel and would mean the actual world to me. This has been an actual dream come true for me, and it's been just great. So would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much again. And without further ado, let's get into Invader Zuko. Now, as I alluded to in the previous video, that being the Boomy boss fight, Invader Zuko is not nearly on the same level of Boomy and the Unagi, to the point that I even debated making a video on it, but I decided that, if nothing else, for the sake of my OCD, we could finish out the set and make a free-to-play guide for Invader Zuko. Now, Invader Zuko requires special element heroes and airbender heroes, and thankfully, like I said, he's not that tough. So we do have exactly what we need as far as free-to-play heroes go. First of all, Last Airbender Aang. Pretty much carbon copy to the Unagi fight. If you built your Aang for the Unagi fight, that Aang will be just as good here. You want speed and you want accuracy so he can get those knockdowns. I do just have Appa here for the stats, and we have the Airbender Flute, as that does max out his accuracy very quickly. That makes sure that any knockdowns that you inflict, they will stick. Very, very helpful. Next, we're actually going to talk about Sokka. Again, if you have a Sokka built that was successful on Boomy, he will do great here, easily. I do have him built on defense. This isn't nearly as important for Invader Zuko, as unless you are not built at all, the man kind of does hit like a cabbage after Aang ran it over, but in the interest of making sure we don't take any chances, we do have him built here for defensive stats. Of course, you do want the accuracy to make sure his stuns stick on his advanced. Owl Wolf here for the stats, and then the Lantern here just to make sure that crits don't hurt him quite so bad. Very simple. Very, very easy. And then, for our third one, and kind of a newcomer here, we do have the Kyoshi Warrior. Now, this is the Mind version. You actually do get one copy of this one from the story. And this character is interesting because she actually does deal damage based on the enemy's defensive stat. So you don't really have to worry so much about building attack on her. I very much went pretty much completely in on defensive stats for this one as well. Unless you're trying to get those 3 stars, the boss fights really are just a battle of attrition, just making sure that you're damaging them and they're not damaging you. So very, very easy there. If we take a look at what I have her built, I do have some immunity, which isn't necessary, but is helpful if you're worried about getting nailed with something. Lion Vulture just for the stats, not the special there. And then Dumpling Weed. Very simple, very easy. This particular one does, it does say that it will heal her whenever she does receive a heal, but I'm not actually sure if anybody on this team has any healing, so again, really more so for stats, but I really can't emphasize enough that this boss fight is not nearly as scary as the prior 3. Even Avatar State Aang is dramatically scarier than Zuko. So that is what we have here. Little special mention for the next couple days. If you do go to the summon shop here, in the feature tab, we do have the 3 Kyoshi Warriors and kind of the signature Kyoshi Warrior Katana on sale for only 10 of the 4-star duplicate coins. So, just something to keep in mind if you do want a little more firepower. You've got Kyoshi Warrior Offense here, who scales on speed and is very powerful. You've got this Kyoshi Warrior, I believe she's a defensive one, She can heal, and they both have counter stances and all that jazz. So just something to kind of keep in mind there for the next couple days at least, where if you find yourself running a little short, those are options to you. And I believe the Blue Spirit is still in the shop as well. Always good stuff there. So, how we're going to build this here is we're going to use the Lion Vulture because that does give speed to special element heroes. Always good. We're going to stick Kyoshi Warrior there. We're actually going to stick Sokka here because that way he'll be able to use his boomerang more, assuming Zuko even lasts that long. And then we'll stick Aang right here in the back. And we rock and roll. I know it sounds like I keep throwing off on him, but he really is not that bad, at least in his current state. There's always the chance he could get buffed in the future, but considering that Invader Zuko is a carbon copy of the 4-star Invader Zuko, who really isn't made to be all that crazy to begin with, I'm not really expecting any sudden difficulty increases. However, we will just take a brief glance at him. He does have an attack here that deals damage based on the enemy's max HP, and he gains some increased attack. This is the AoE. This one can be a little scary if you're not well built. This one can do some damage and give himself some increased crit rate. And then on the passive here, he can enter a charging state if he gets 2 or more of those buffs. I wouldn't be too scared of it because you can knock him right back out of this with either a knockdown from Aang or a stun from Sokka. But just starting out here, we're just going to use the advanced. Easy peasy. He's going to do his thing. It does hurt a little bit, but it's really not going to matter. You can kind of go either way as far as who you use for your combos. If you use Airbender Aang, you can get the air element, which makes him not hit quite as hard. If you use Sokka in the back end of your combos, you can get that special element, which can make subsequent combos hit more. In this case, though, I think we're going to go with Aang, honestly, just for that air element. You really can't go wrong there. And we've got him stunned, easy peasy. Kyoshi Warrior attacks. Then Aang here. Gets the turn meter reduction, which is never a bad thing. Sokka doing some damage there. Always good. We're gonna get another Aang strike here. So really is just keep wailing on him, get the stuns and knockdowns whenever you can. And look, we're going to get another stun right here, because if you put Sokka in this slot, this stun has a 1-turn cooldown. It can happen very, very quickly. Very quickly, very easily. And if you do have Sokka maxed out, I believe it's a 100% chance, as long as you win that accuracy check, if I'm remembering correctly. So, yeah, as you can see, we're mopping the floor with this poor guy. It's a slaughter. Not even a problem. And in the worst of scenarios, you've even got the death save on Aang. If something really goes wonky on you, barely even a problem. He's going to use his AoE. Everybody's fine. Sneak attacks don't count. Sneak attack, yeah. Yeah, the duality of man over here. But yeah, that is it. And well, that was actually kind of a bad time for a rank up because I was almost full in energy as is, but oh well. Yeah, so that is the Sokka boss fight. Really simple. Really simple, really easy, and frankly, I was probably even overcranked on that one. Because he barely even gets a chance to breathe with the Sokka stuns. So, yeah, that's that. And of course, if you've gotten any of the newest characters, if you've got Kelsong especially, just trivializes this guy. The Blue Spirit, currently in the shop right now. And pretty much, if you get up to 4 characters and you build them at all, you can absolutely handle this boss fight. So, that is it. That wraps up the free-to-play clears for each of these boss fights. The Yanagi was a little challenging, King Boomy was very challenging, but Zuko and Aang were not so bad. Really, that one you just kind of use the resources that you've been given and you will be a-okay. So, very cool stuff, and we have a lot of cool stuff coming soon. Of course, the boss fight quests are going to wrap up very soon, and we do have an update coming up this next week. They've already confirmed that in the live stream that Moonslayer Zhao and Princess Yue are going to be coming sometime in that update. Very exciting. We'll be going over those patch notes just in time for the update. And we will, of course, as always, go over everything that pops up. So very exciting stuff. Hope y'all are looking forward to it. Hope you found this video helpful. If you did, let me know down in the comments. Again, if you haven't already, a subscription would be very helpful and greatly appreciated because y'all are awesome. And we shall see you next time. Have a good one.